Hi Daniel. How's it going? Hey Scimon. Good thanks. Well actually I'm a bit upset. Oh. Why's that? Well my girlfriend and I have been arguing again. Barbara doesn't want to have sex before marriage. Oh I see, that's too bad. I can tell you what the Sibyl says about it if you like. The Sibyl? You mean the holy book of that new religion Scimon? Alice mentioned it. I think it's a kooky idea, but to each his own I guess. Okay, so what does this Sibyl say about sex before marriage? A very important aspect of married life is sexual compatibility. By compatible I mean that your libido should match hers. Sex acts like a glue that keeps a couple together. Minus this glue, the marriage bond is significantly weaker. Can you imagine the consequences if one of you wanted sex once a month and the other wanted it 3 times a day? Frustration would set in, and the marriage would quickly end in divorce. How would you know if you were sexually compatible if you didn't have sex before marriage? That's a very good point. This Sibyl also says that a man should have sex with a few different women before making up one's mind and settling on someone for the long term. This is also related to sexual compatibility. That makes sense. This Sibyl is also against the practice of abstinence. This is because people have unrealistic expectations about sex if they haven't done the real thing. This is especially true for men. Most young men look at pornography long before they become sexually active and thus have all kinds of unrealistic expectations when it comes to sex and women. It is necessary to dispel all those false expectations before entering into marriage. I guess that's generally true, but not in my case though, because I have had sex before Barbara and I met. I do agree though, that pornography is just unreal. Generally, sex before marriage is more important for men than for women. This is because sex itself is a higher priority to men than it is to women. Isn't that a bit sexist? Nature is sexist. This is how science created us, for better or worse. Female black widow spiders eat the males after having sex. Wouldn't you say that was sexist? Haha, yes. I don't see any feminists complaining about that. The thing to realize is that science created men and women differently to complement each other, not to fight and compete against each other. I recall a certain dialogue in the movie Maverick. One guy says, if it weren't for women, we wouldn't be here. The other guy says, well, if it weren't for men, we wouldn't be here either. Haha. Good one. Anyway, my point was that for men, sex has a higher priority than what I will call the relationship stuff. To a woman, however, these priorities are reversed. That is to say, the relationship stuff like love, togetherness, and so on are more important than sex. It seems to me that what you and Barbara have is essentially a one-way relationship. She's getting what she needs from you, that is you're fulfilling her relationship needs, but you're not getting what you need from her, that is she's not fulfilling your sexual needs. And one-way relationships aren't healthy. I see. Oh hell, I think you're right. Isn't it? Selfish? Yes it is. Unfortunately, it's gotten to a point where men are demonized for wanting to fulfill their basic needs. This Sibyl also says that the ideal person to marry is one who has had a few prior relationships. Such a person has a fair idea about the responsibilities in a marriage. The worst choice for a partner is one who has never been in a prior relationship. Such a person will have all kinds of unrealistic expectations and mixed up priorities, such as valuing physical attractiveness over financial security. However, there is also a danger in marrying someone who has been in too many relationships, for obvious reasons. And all of this stuff is in the Sibyl? Doesn't seem to be anything like those other so-called holy books that contain all kinds of nonsense. Hey, could you give me a copy? I'd like to read it. Seems like it contains a lot of useful advice. Of course, Daniel. I've got a copy right here. It's yours. If you have any questions about its content, feel free to ask. Thanks, Scimon. Thanks for your advice. I think I will visit Barbara now and have a chat with her. See you soon. Good luck, Daniel. See you soon.